I was driving here tonight, and by the way, I don't have any poems, and I'm so glad because I wouldn't want to follow you guys. You're so amazing. And I was thinking about my friend Helen, who passed away almost exactly 15 years ago. I hadn't thought about her in a long time. She was in her 80s when she passed, and she was a very close friend of mine. I would say she was like a mother to me, but because of the age difference, she was more like a kind of a grandmother, grandmother, just wonderful. And she lived in Kingston. We met at Bible study at a Catholic church, which is in itself unusual because Catholic churches don't usually have Bible study. She was a very special lady. She would sleep every morning until about 10. It's okay. She would sleep every morning until about 10 a.m. Now, she had to, because she never went to bed before 1 a.m. in her 80s. And at about 9 o'clock was martini time, or should I say plural, just a couple of martinis. She was a hot ticket. I remember we would go out for dinner, and I still eat too late. I know I eat too late. We would go out for dinner we'd meet at maybe 8, get to the restaurant, and she would say, "We're not in any rush." Now, the places close at 10 during the week, right? "We're not in any rush." And she would order her martini. And I was always amazed because we would linger, we would be there for a good 2 hours. We weren't in any rush. And I would notice the level of her martini never fluctuated much. One time, I had gone to the ladies' room, because these were marathon dinners, just kidding. And I came back and I caught her. And I found out the secret why her martini glass never really ran out. She had a little nip of vodka in her purse. So she would tip it off. So that was magic. Of anyone I ever met in my life, she had every right to be bitter and just miserable. You see, she married very young, and she married a very handsome man, she said. He abandoned her, though, when she was pregnant. And she was strict Catholic, and so her dating, she was abandoned, she was still married. And to remain, her interpretation of the faith was she was stuck now for the rest of her life. She couldn't remarry because she didn't know if he was dead or alive. And she had one son, one child, and at age 23, he died of leukemia. So she was literally alone in the world. And I had the privilege of being with her the last few days of her life, and it was right around it was right before Easter weekend. So she passed away just before Easter. She was a really good Catholic. I'm not. I really miss her. And here we are on Good Friday evening. I was going to do a comedy skit. I'm going to transition to that, but it's a shitty set that I'm going to do. It's crappy. And you know what? Helen would have liked that. Because let's face it, tonight is Passover. Tonight is Good Friday. So any of us in the room, we're crappy Jews and Catholics, aren't we? So let's just own who we are. Let's just stand tall in it. Okay. So, true story. I ordered a hair elixir that was designed to restore the biome of the scalp. Doesn't that sound new agey in LA and like what the heck, right? Okay. Now, I have a small dog who has an attitude. He's a Chihuahua, he's a rescue dog, he has PTSD. And I don't know if any of you have animals like this, but sometimes if you leave them alone, even just for a minute to go out and check the mailbox and you come back, they'll leave a present for you because they want you to know they didn't like it if you left. So he's that kind of dog. So occasionally, you'll smell something. And it's like, really? I can't believe he did it again. Okay. So anyway, I was rubbing this very expensive hair elixir onto my scalp for the first time. And I thought, oh no, I smelled that smell. It's crappy. So I'm like, I can't believe the dog did it in the living room. And I walked over, and the rug is fine. I'm like, what is that? It was the hair elixir that smelled just exactly like dog poop. So I was telling my adult sons, one lives in New York and one lives in DC, and I was visiting. We were celebrating one of their birthdays, and we were all together. And I told them that story and how I thought it was hilarious, but I actually love the hair stuff, so I'm still using it. But anyway, so 2 days later, I got an email. Anyway, you can see this. This is in my Gmail account. Dear Marilee, I am reaching out to you because you recently purchased our scalp detoxifier. We have noticed that on some product, there seems to be an interaction between our coconut /radish preservative, and which is pretty funny right there, and the active botanical, wait for it, willow herb flower extract. This is expensive stuff, that produces an off scent. Since we do not use essential oils or scented material in our product, any such interaction is noticeable and unacceptable to us. Please dispose of the product, and we are issuing you a full refund. Thanks so much. Isn't that fabulous? Can't make that shit up. Okay. All right. I know, we're not supposed to swear, but I thought we could. I don't think this microphone's on. It's something shifted. Okay. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about, how am I on time? Okay. So the last thing I want to talk about is self-driving cars. Okay. I read a report that says something like 70% of the population would never ride or let a loved one ride in a self-driving car. Okay, really? Have you guys driven in southeastern Mass recently? Okay. Personally, I think I'll take my chances, but I have facts to back it up. Okay. How many people do you think have died as a result of self-driving cars? It's less than 5. I'm not sure what the number is. Okay. Some statistics. 9.4% of the population, the American population, used an illicit drug in the last month, meaning illegal. Now, that did include marijuana, which of course is legal here. But it also includes things like cocaine, hallucinogens, inhalants, and heroin. So that's 9.4%. So do that math. Okay. 1 in 6 of us, we know, are on antidepressants. And so that's about 16 to 17% of people that, may just decide to end it by hitting you. 1 in 8 Americans, 12.7%, are alcoholics. Okay, so now we probably shouldn't just add those numbers up because I'm sure there's some crossover. But there's maybe if it's not, the numbers are not good. In 2014, alcohol-impaired driving fatalities, 9,967 from alcohol use, driving fatalities, okay? And we said that 12.7% of the population was alcoholics in 2014. And let the record reflect, that was before Donald Trump even took office. So I think if, conservatively, let's double that. I don't know, okay. So self-driving cars are starting to sound a lot better to me. I don't know. Okay. So I have another card, but I'm going to leave that for the next time. Thank you. No, I'm going to leave it for the next time. Thank you.